This is the G Podcast with your host, Tommy B.
Man, y'all feel that daylight savings time being pulled out your soul? I know it, that 1 hour. Hang in there this week. Welcome to episode 216 of This is the G Podcast. Yes. We are back. I'm Tommy B. Each week we do news, politics, pop culture, and that popping hot tea from the one and only Tonya B. Syracuse Mike updates us on the Feisty POTUS, Feisty Biden, and the State of the Union. Yes, he did it. The Newsmaker crew is here, Vied to leave, and now we dive into MC Feisty B and another round of Newsmaker Trivia. But first, let's go ahead and get into news with Syracuse Mike.
News team, assemble!
It's time for the Week in News with Syracuse Mike.
By unanimous vote, the U.S. Supreme Court has ruled that states cannot kick former President Donald Trump off the ballot. Here's the former president.
It was a very important decision. We're very well crafted, and I think it will go a long way toward bringing our country together.
The court's decision overturns a 4-3 ruling from the Colorado Supreme Court that said Trump could not run because he had engaged in insurrection during the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. The court said, and we quote, "We conclude that states may disqualify persons holding or attempting to hold office, but states have no power under the Constitution to enforce Section 3 with respect to federal offices, especially the presidency." Section 3 refers to the 14th Amendment of the Constitution and taking an oath to defend it, but then betraying it. Kirsten Sinema says she is not running for re-election.
It's been an honor to serve Arizona for the past 20 years.
The Arizona independent senator was once a Democrat, but has now found herself with no major party to align with. Many in the media are calling it a fiery speech. That's the way President Biden's State of the Union address is being described. Political is the other commonly used word, as he referred to his predecessor frequently Thursday night.
Now my predecessor, a former Republican president, tells Putin, quote, "Do whatever the hell you want." That's a quote. A former president actually said that, bowing down to a Russian leader. I think it's outrageous, it's dangerous, and it's unacceptable.
In addition to issues like women's reproductive rights and the economy, many pundits were looking to see if the president could ease concerns about his age.
Isn't how old we are, it's how old are our ideas.
He addressed that at the end of his speech, and most of the analysts on the major television networks, along with Democratic Party leaders, said he met the moment. Former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley will suspend her presidential campaign. That clears the way for Donald Trump to quickly lock up the Republican nomination. Despite being flooded with complaint calls from users, a House committee unanimously passed a measure that would ban TikTok in the U.S. The very popular social media company will have just months to be sold in order to avoid a ban. For years, the U.S. government has expressed concerns about ByteDance, TikTok's current Chinese owner. Our government believes the Chinese government uses the app to spy on U.S. citizens. A full House vote, which would include bipartisan support, could happen in just days.
Thanks for the headlines, Mike. Man, Talib and Vi, the country commentator, are here. Yes. And we have our second contestants. It's a twofer, y'all. Friends of the show, Sanyu, Estelle, artist. And you know, here's the thing, Sanyu, because I've known you in so many different capacities, I'm trying to really focus on, the music side of what you're doing these days.
Okay.
Because just for the guys, for the fellas, when I used to do, even going back to GP3, Sanyu would sit in and we talk politics, so because of her blog was on fire. And she still puts people on blast. Are you still shadow banned?
Oh, always, forever and a day, I guess. It's all right.
But it's all good. Plus Millennial Nik. We call him Millennial Nik. Nik B. What do we call him?
I mean, you do, but I mean, if we're going to be specific, I'm not even 30 yet, so I don't even know if I'm in that category.
That's right. So he's Nik used to be
very in between.
When he was at UGA, he used to be on the show. Used to come on, but he's now a producer of a really good project, new music, Shipwrecked, and we'll get into that in just a minute. But Sanyu is actually on today as one of our contestants for Newsmaker Trivia. And thank you so much, LA, for representing LA, Sanyu.
I do what I can,
yes.
Respectfully.
And also, when it comes down to it, Nik will be your phone a friend. If you
Okay.
What's the topic?
If I can't answer the questions, I'll be like, phone my friend.
That's it. So Nik will be your phone a friend. All right, but this is the sophomore album, Shipwreck. 3 years in the making. What's the story behind that? 3 years in the making. What's up with that?
Well, the story behind that, other than money, the story behind that is that when I made the first album, Good Grief, also mixed and mastered by Nik, on recommendation from Tommy himself, I assumed that was like an honorary project and that I was one and done. You know, my dad wanted me to be a musician. I didn't think that I was going to be one. But I wanted to honor him when he passed. And then we had another year in quarantine. I wrote a few more songs. Another year went by, I wrote a few more songs. And then all of a sudden I had 16 songs. And I was like, well, now I got to make an album.
Yeah, you're definitely not a rapper because she's got 16 tracks, 3 features on the album. And tell us about who's featured on the project.
We have Tulips. She's an Afro-Indigenous artist out of Los Angeles. She's amazing. She's blowing up right now on KCRW and NPR. I'm sure she'll be on all the things very soon. Then we have my cousin, Love Sega, who is one of the founding members of Clean Bandit, but is no longer in Clean Bandit. Now he just goes as Love Sega. He's amazing. Singer, rapper, producer. He is in London, and he is the cousin of Michael Chiwanuka, who's also a musician, but they're very different kinds of musicians.
Okay.
And then my last feature is my other cousin, because you got to use the family when they are available.
When you said money, I said, okay, she's gonna have to start going for family.
Oh, you're family now. You and Nik are family now. I don't know if you felt that way, but you in the circle now.
Yeah.
And my cousin. Thank you. I'm honored. And my cousin Nansamba Sansalo, who played the flute, not the flute, that was Yuki last album. She played the violin and the cello on one of my songs on this album.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Let me give you your applause. Yes.
Thank you.
And so proud of Millennial Nik. Nik, are you using that UGA music?
What?
Are you using that UGA, the University of Georgia music degree?
Sure.
So Nik, how was it? How was it working with Sanyu? I'm curious.
I mean, no, it's great. I'm just trying to remember. These past few years have been a real blur.
Yeah.
Like I think for everybody, like what were you doing in 2021?
Yeah, so true.
Like it's been but I mean it's been fun. I'm just trying to remember the timeline because it was like we finished the first one.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And that was kind of like 6 months or so. Like I remember you asked me in like July, we were kind of done by January, February. But this one was kind of like we were just sending stuff back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I guess on my end it was just kind of like I don't know. It was just I remember I threw some stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I sent you some stuff and I was like, okay, this might sound cool. And then you kind of grabbed the beats that you gravitated toward were the ones that ended up on this thing.
Let's go ahead and jump into the contest. You ready? Let's see who's the first question. We got Talib.
Yes, sir.
Talib, are you ready?
I am. Sanyu, are you ready?
I am as ready as I'm gonna be.
Go ahead.
All right. So this controversial former Democrat turned independent senator announced she's not running for re-election in Arizona. Who is she?
Oh God, I was gonna be like, it's the woman from Arizona. God.
You can call me in.
Oh, I phone a friend. Let's just get that out the way.
Is it? You're talking about Kirsten Sinema?
Absolutely,
Bing, bing.
yes.
Yes, sir. Okay.
All right, Vi, you're number 2. What you got?
This former South Carolina governor suspended her president campaign after only winning one state this past Super Tuesday. Who is she?
The unfortunate Nikki Haley.
Yes,
correct.
You know, Sanyu, you're a winner. That's all you had to do. Yes.
Thank you. Wah, wah, wah. Thank you, Nick. Phone a friend. Okay, good.
You don't even have to use number 3, so you're good. You're good. All you have to do is get 2 out of 3. You're good. You get the new project, the new book from Harold Michael Harvey, Watch Night. I'll make sure you get that. So thank you so much.
Okay, I didn't know I was even winning things.
Yeah, I'm gonna hook you up. But here's the deal. Tell people how they can get the project.
To get my music, you need to go to bandcamp.com/Sanyu Estelle. That's spelled SANYUESTELLE. You can also go to SanyuEstelle.com. You can also go on any streaming service and stream me. Of course, I would prefer you buy, but also stream. And you can stream me on Spotify, Tidal, YouTube, SoundCloud, any of those as well.
Appreciate you, Sanyu. And the name of the album is Shipwrecked 1.
Shipwreck.
Just Shipwreck.
Just Shipwreck.
Okay.
Yeah,
and it's the sophomore album, again, 3 years in the making. But you know what? You didn't mention why you called it that, why you called it Shipwreck. Can you tell people before you go why you called it Shipwreck?
Yes. SHIP is an abbreviation for relationship. It's relationship wreck. The sophomore album is my album for all my relationships that didn't make it to the shore, all my romantic relationships that left me adrift. I made one album for all my exes, one album to rule them all, my precious.
Go ahead. There you go.
Here, my dear.
That's it. For the old school, Marvin Gaye is Here, my dear. There you go. Sanyu,
Okay,
thank
exactly.
you again.
So hopefully more successful.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, good point.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Again, Sanyu, Nick, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, no problem.
All right, y'all. Yeah, man, it has been a crazy week. It's always a crazy week, but a very special week. And I don't know if Talib can get through this. I think Vi is ecstatic. I think Vi's in a very good mood after the State of the Union.
Yeah, I listened to it. I took and listened to the whole thing.
So I'll start with you, Vi. What are your thoughts, man? What do you think about feisty Biden?
I like it. My thing is he's got a lot to live up to. But I like what he said. He called, even though he didn't say his name, he called him out on his stuff. He called Republican on his stuff. Like, I thought he's shameful. He shamed it when they tried to use the young lady name who got killed in Georgia. Like, he blatantly said, look, this is on y'all. We had a bill to stop the immigrant, to slow it down, and y'all didn't agree on it. So y'all can't put this on me no more. This is on y'all. So he called him out on his stuff. Now, whether everybody believe, but you still, the diehard MAGA fans still call it all lies, all lies. But my thing is, he called, for the first time I can say, he actually called him out on their stuff. And he said what he has done. So, yeah, I like what he said. Yeah,
he took on Trump based on what the estimate is, somewhere around 13 times. He didn't refer to him by name. He referred to him by saying, my predecessor.
Everybody know who he was, my predecessor.
They know, absolutely knew what he was talking about. Any thoughts, Talib?
Yeah, this is what I would want to see from a Joe Biden, or any president that is trying to defend their reelection campaign. I felt like watching it was, he did well. He did what he was supposed to do for this type of the type of scenario he was in. Points definitely was scored when, you didn't like that? No, you didn't vote? Well, what? Huh? He might as well have gone like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Put his hand up to his ear, Hulk Hogan style. This was what I expect to see from any president that is fighting for their agenda. Now, what I did not, I couldn't really understand was he's calling for them to vote for the John Lewis bill.
The voting rights bill. Mm-hmm. Has that been even brought up lately? Well, see, here's the thing.
Right, exactly.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, there are two sources. If you want to talk sore spots for me, the George Floyd Act,
right,
and the John Lewis.
Yes.
Those two bills have been collecting dust, cobwebs. But again, I think it comes down to, and I had to think about this for a minute, Sinema and Manchin, okay, in the Senate. There, you know, especially Sinema. Sinema is the one who has basically stood in front of blocking or getting rid of the filibuster. Okay, so let's see, now that she's not returning, and now that Manchin's not returning, depends on who goes in their place. If we can get rid of the filibuster, then we can potentially push these things through, because that's been the problem with the George Floyd Act as well as the Voting Rights Act. So I agree, but you know, again, you know, promises.
Exactly, and that's my whole thing. You know, again, he gave the kind of speech that he needed, but is that going to lead to any action?
Yeah,
I'm not optimistic about the amount of that. Quite apprehensive.
Yeah, and see, the other thing I think, you know, with that, that's what got his ass in trouble the first time in 2020. And I was sitting there just like you, and I'm saying, dude, you going down that road again. You're getting too feisty. You know, you're making these promises because, you know, people like me and a lot of other folks, we're gonna call you on the carpet. We're gonna say, look, and Vi'll be the one that says, hey, come on now, he's all we got. And I'm gonna say, but what about? You know, and I'm gonna play the sound. I'm gonna play the sound from the State of the Union.
And I'm gonna say, he's still all we got.
And that's a sad state of affairs.
That's a sad state of affairs. But that's
because I'm keeping that sound. I'm keeping that sound. So any other thoughts? Because I got a couple of things I just want to mention, you know, just for the sake of just mentioning it about the speech. You know, I'll give you.
One thing I do say, I love how they say they try to take care of the middle class, the family. What about the middle class who is single, who ain't married? What about us? We need taken care of too.
Well, you know, financially, you still, you know, could fall within that middle class still.
You need a sugar. You need a sugar mama.
No.
Say, hey, bye. Just look ahead. Just look ahead and smile. There you go. I'm gonna help you out. All right. I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you out, Vi. 5 things of note.
Look, I am too old for that. I am a sugar. I'm 60, so what? I'm gonna date somebody 80 years old? I think not.
Right.
Potentially.
Come here, man.
Hey, it's like Eartha Kitt and Boomerang.
Right.
Hey, it's like Eartha Kitt and Boomerang. Just say something like that.
So I'm going for the Eagle.
Marcus. All right, man. Hey, 5 things of note. Biden took on Trump, like we said, reproductive rights, front and center. He pushed that. Biden made the case also for his economic policies that are working. You know, the jobs report came out, looked phenomenal. The border security situation got a response. Marjorie Taylor Greene once again showed her ass and embarrassed herself. Wearing a MAGA hat in Congress when you're not supposed to wear a hat. So, you know, that's enough. I'm not even going to spend much time on her.
Please.
He also addressed, and this is, you know, why I did want to, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I do want to get to the Republican response. He did address his critics in the Middle East, and he stepped up criticism on Netanyahu, which I think he needs to continue to do that. So we'll see how everything works out in the Middle East because, you know, I'm seeing the food drops, but ultimately, and I'm going to say this, and, you know, it's probably time for another podcast to go in depth, but I'm going to have to look at it and say, okay, we're giving you this much money. If we're giving you this much money, you're going to do what we tell you to do. Because I've never heard of if you in a situation where you're an ally and you're responsible for giving money to a country and they won't do what you tell them to do. That don't work in my book.
Right.
we're giving you money. You need to cooperate. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
All right, the Republican response, real quick. Alabama Republican Senator Kate Britt. I say she went like full on Stepford Wives. If you're familiar with the movie Stepford Wives, and I tell you, I had to turn it off.
You didn't watch the whole thing?
It was creepy, man. It was creepy, man. I mean, it was probably one of the worst, if not the worst, rebuttal I've seen. And why they put? I mean, I guess she wrote that, or the kitchen thing. It was creepy, man. It was bad optics. It was something. It looked like something Tupperville wrote. So it was like, I mean, you could see why, the GOP continues. It's like the GOP does disrespectful stuff to their women followers and constituents. Mm-hmm. It was just Twilight Zone. Chili, thoughts?
Yes. That was probably one of the worst responses that I've seen since Bobby Jindal. Yeah. And I thought to myself, that's all I could think of when I saw her. And then I was watching the Midas Touch podcast, and dude said the exact same thing. So
what did he say? What did he say?
Said that this was even creepier than Bobby Jindal's response when Obama, when he did the response when Obama was the president.
Yeah.
And the fact that Senator Britt did not give any stats, no numbers, other than the fact that she recounted Joe Biden's executive orders. There was no other anything to substantiate her emotional rant. And a lot of people, that I've been watching that have given insight into her response have been pretty much saying the same thing. That, this is, a well-rehearsed, from the breathiness of some things that she said, the fact that she goes into the gang rape, within like the first 5 to 7 minutes of the response, and then doesn't really, give kind of closure to it, just kind of leaves it hanging. I mean, it was in the kitchen thing, I know she was trying to give that real, I'm one of you type of feelings to it. As I'm a white woman, I'm here, I'm telling you about my husband and my 2 kids, and I'm presenting myself, from the kitchen. But it's very, very bad optics. A lot of people have said the same thing. So I'm just kind of going to repeat, that same talking point. It was just whack.
Yeah.
It was whack.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Yeah, I agree. Did you watch it, Vi?
No, I didn't watch that. I kind of read it, but I did. Hey, but I did read on it. I mean, I just feel like to me, it's like, I don't know, just why they always say make America great again. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, it was like for me, the Cleavers. It's like, I mean, I go back to the whole Stepford Wives, situation, and it just got creepy, man. I just turned it off. I said, I've done the heavy lifting. I've watched Joe Biden for an hour and a half, and
to be honest with you,
really longer, 2, 3, because I watched the pregame. But go ahead.
But all day, I've tried to look at the Republicans' answer. After 5 minutes, after about 5 minutes, I have to turn it off. I tried after about 3 times. So I can't do it. I can't listen.
No, you don't have to, man. You don't have to. You're good.
I tried 3 times.
Let it go. Let it go.
People, 5 times. I said I can't do it.
Wow, you know what it is. It's a cute white woman, and all of her, it's all of her, and all of her Karenicity.
I tried.
I'm just thinking horror movie. I'm just thinking Get Out. I'm just thinking Stepford. I'm just like, I was watching it again. I mean, it's late night. President's finished 11 something, And I look up and I'm hearing her and I'm like, oh my God, where are we going with this?
I try.
Where are we going?
Again,
No,
I think that the emotional nature and the fear mongering that she was really trying to put into her message.
Yeah.
It was not only unnecessary, but most of it was inaccurate at best.
Yeah. Agreed. All right, y'all. Hey, you got a big take for the week, Vi?
My big take is I'm listening to Trump, and then I'm reading that they're going to let Trump pick his people to run the Republican Party finances. I'm going,
yep.
What sense does that make? This man is drowning. He has no money. He's getting sued by everybody, and y'all actually going to believe when he says he's not going to use the money to pay for his court fees.
Oh no, Laura Trump has already said every dollar that the RNC makes is going to be going towards his campaign.
Yeah, and his campaign is his legal.
Do you believe legal? And I'm thinking, but look at his history. He has so many people that work for him are going to jail right now for doing illegal stuff. So this who y'all want to be in charge of the Republican Party finances? So I can't
the fox in the hen house for me.
I can't get
fox in the hen house.
When I hear that case, I'm saying this is not a Republican Party. Just rename it. Call it the Magna Party or the Trump Party. We have 3 parties now, 4 parties. We got the Independent, Republican, MAGA, and Democrat.
No, Vi. I'm gonna say this. The Republican Party no longer exists.
Right? They're not.
It's over.
That's
it is the party. The Republican Party has submitted to Trump.
And you got
whatever that is. I call it the insurrectionists. But go ahead.
And you got so many of them. The one who called us a true Republican, instead of running, they said, "Well, I'm just going to resign. I'm not running anymore."
Yeah.
So that's one thing I got by Biden, like what he said. If you love the country, you can't only love it when you win.
Yeah.
So you don't love the country. You just love you.
Yeah.
You just love you. If it ain't your way, it's the wrong way. So I can't get with them. No, I'm sorry.
All right, Talib, what you got, man?
Yeah, I've got another one for the What's Done in the Dark segment. This week, the BBC reports that Colorado DNA scandal threatens to overturn hundreds of criminal cases. Apparently, there was a woman by the name of Yvonne Missy Woods who works for the Colorado Bureau of Investigation's crime lab, and she's been accused of manipulating evidence over her 29-year career.
Wow.
With the CBI. This is going to affect 652 cases. They are actually going back through 3,000 samples to see if what she has reported has been accurate, and this is going to be to the tune of about $7.5 million to the taxpayers of Colorado.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. So, we'll see how it comes out. But 29 years.
29 years manipulating evidence over 600 cases. And now, this could possibly overturn. 652 is the number.
Yeah, but we don't need anything. Prejudice is gone. White people, they can do right by us.
So, what was the racial? Did they even say what the racial?
They didn't really give a racial makeup. I'm assuming that she's Caucasian, but it did not. The news story, the BBC didn't actually specify.
Yeah.
But but the real of it is, this is you're talking about DNA, so that means that this is rape cases, this is murders, and now we're looking at the possibility of these cases being overturned because of tampered evidence. So whether they were guilty or not,
exactly, they're going to be released.
Yeah, or there's got to be some kind of a new trial, or it's just an unfortunate incident, and there's no it's not like unfortunately the news article didn't actually say whether there was some kind of financial gain in this for her, what was motivating her to manipulate the evidence. Actually, she hasn't even been arrested as of the report. So, this is just something to follow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
Keep us up to date on that, man.
Yeah.
Keep us up. Appreciate that. And I'm just going to end it on a light note, y'all. Well, light for some. Light for some. Atlanta Falcons, y'all. Are y'all really going to pay Kirk Cousins $40 million a year?
Please say
That's
that.
all I got to say.
Don't do that.
$40 million for a guy, 12 years, never won, maybe won one playoff game. Please. Are y'all going to pay $40 million?
That's
They
crazy.
don't want it.
That's
They don't
crazy.
want it.
They don't.
Atlanta doesn't want a winning football team.
They don't
I'm
want a
just-
Super Bowl team. I'm going. What y'all trying to do? Win now?
I'm just curious. That's all. $40 million. Are you going to pay this guy for $40 million?
We're a quarterback away from winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And if
Not
he was,
with Kirk.
And
Not
if
with
he
Kirk.
was, and if he was a quarterback away, is he the guy?
Well, I'm just going to say I wanted to keep it brief, and I will say if he's the guy and you prove me wrong, then I'll admit it. But for somebody who has only won one playoff game
If he's
in
the
their
guy,
career, and you're going to pay him $40 million,
if he's the guy,
that just
why did we get rid of Matt Ryan? If he's the guy,
well,
Right.
Matt's arm was shot. He was, I mean, Matt physically, I think he could have probably, but in terms of like the ability to extend the play, throw it deep, that wasn't going to happen with Matt Ryan.
But do we have the
I don't
wide
know.
receiver talent to get him there that he need?
Look, dude, $40 million a year, you won't now.
There's your cap. That's all you
That's
cap
the
right
cap.
there.
That's, forget.
Y'all think
So,
Drake? Y'all think Drake and that with that tight end we got that good?
Pitts.
And
Look,
they love. They love.
it
Pitts.
doesn't matter.
They got rid of the good tight end to keep Pitts because he's fans.
Right.
Janu, yeah. But I'm just going to say, I just wanted to ask the question. That's all. I'd love your feedback. Go to castropolis.net, choose the people poll, love a voice message from you. I'll play back the best. Again, appreciate you, Vi. Thank you so much, man.
Always, my brother.
Talib.
Always.
Talib Shabazz, man, as always, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Man, appreciate y'all.
All right, let's go ahead and we'll take a break and we'll come back with Tonya B and the Tea. Again, thank you, fellas.
All right, brother. Appreciate it.
Peace.
Peace.
I'm singing blue skies, sunny days. Life can get confusing, it feels like a maze. But girl, when I'm here with you, nothing feels the same. Got me losing track of time, and I know you're to blame. Yeah. 'Cause you know that your love's enough for the both of us. I swim in the deep end till I feel like coming up. Just here for the weekend.
Now then, children, it's time for tea.
It's tea time, y'all. Sippin' the tea with Tonya B.
Yes, my people, it's time for tea. It's your girl, Tonya B, right here on This Is the G Podcast. Let's just get right to it. I have a couple of things to tell you. Nobody really went off the rails this week, which is good because we have enough from last week. We're still trying to get over the traumatization from, okay? Now, Russell Wilson, hey, he may no longer be a member of the Denver Broncos, but let me tell you something. It was something, I think that Coach Payton might have been a little envious of Russell. He got the career, he's got the business, he's got the coin, he's got the wife, he's got the kids. But I'm hearing that if this Coach Payton does not turn that team around in the next 2 years, he's going to be on the unemployment line too. Do you think the fact that they had to give Russell an $85 million check to go away? I take that. I go away too. And I'm hearing that he may be headed to the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I'm also hearing that wife Sierra is kind of pushing for him to come to the Atlanta Falcons because she's from Atlanta. Now, I told you about the stage play last week, Super Freak, the story of Rick James. Who's portraying Rick James? What's and all? Can you say Stokely can do no wrong, Williams? I'm sorry. I love me some Stokely, Tommy B. Former lead singer of Mint Condition. And this should be maybe one of those ooh-wee plays because Rick James' daughter Ty is one of the executive producers. Well, Jamie Foxx is going to return to TV with daughter Corinne in hosting, if you will. This show beats Shazam. He's got a comedy special in the works. I hear it may go straight to streaming. But just think, 6 months ago, he couldn't even walk. Comedian Mike Epps, back in the news, I guess, when he got done with Shannon Sharp, now he gonna spill his own tea. Publicly apologizing to his former wife, and so he should. He bought the rights to the Richard Pryor story some years back, and he claims the reason why he did not get the role is because he refused to sleep with Richard Pryor's last wife, Jennifer Lee Pryor, because she controls his estate. She wanted to ride that pony, allegedly. And he also admits to a lot of the work he did in the early 2000s, he was high as a kite, and that Ice Cube was the one that chin-checked him and told him, get it together. Well, I guess Mike did get it together, because on March 16th, he will be the host of the new reboot of BET Comic View. You better be funny. You notice the cast of A Different World is on this HBCU tour. No Lisa Bonet, but we got Sinbad, baby, yes. 4 years after a very severe stroke that had him comatose, he can speak. I think his left side may still be a little paralyzed, but we're glad to have him back any way we can get him. God bless Sinbad. Child, Bobby Brown got a PhD, honorary, I should say. Let me clear it up. From the Leaders Esteemed Christian Bible University. Not familiar with that. But they had fundraisers for his daughter, Bobby Christina. So Dr. Bobby Brown and New Edition are extending their Las Vegas residency. I hear people are already clamoring for tickets. And on March 16th, New Edition will be inducted into the NAACP Image Awards Hall of Fame. Holla! What's going on? What in the good times is going on with actor John Amos? The elder abuse allegations have resurfaced. His son and daughter don't get along, and one is accusing the other of these horrible things. But now the Los Angeles Police Department is involved, and they have launched a new investigation. Something ain't right. Something ain't good over there. I tell you what is good. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and Questlove are producing a documentary about the sound of Philadelphia. That is the house that Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff built. You talk about legendary music. Woo! Good God, good God. Do Jesus. I'm hearing there's also a musical on the horizon. Will it go to Broadway like Motown the musical? Who will play Gamble, Huff, Patti LaBelle, Teddy Pendergrass, the OJs? And don't forget, they brought the Jacksons back with Enjoy Yourself. I can't wait for that. Shannon Sharp. You know what? People will be giving him the business, but he does not care. He laughed all the way to the bank. He said he made more money off of that one Cat Williams interview than he made his entire NFL career. Did you hear what I said? Do Jesus hallelujah. Leave that man alone. Robin Roberts of Good Morning America. She has a production company, and they're producing a movie that's going to be shown on Lifetime about the Queen of Disco, Gloria Gaynor. There was a movie out last year. I don't know what happened to it. It came one day and was gone the next, like grand opening, grand closing. But like the song, she does survive. That's right. Disastrous marriage, health challenges, a broken back. She was paralyzed for a while. Now, let me tell you something. She's almost 80 years young, still dipping it and doing it and still touring. So you cannot do anything but give her 5 on it. All right, now, that's all I got. Ain't got no more. It's your girl, Tonya B. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Go to the G Podcast YouTube channel and rock with us each and every day. Check us out on Instagram, all social media platforms. And don't forget the Bird Wire on demand on Castropolis.net 24/7. No, I'm going to say 25/8. All right, back to you, Tommy B. Have a great week.
Big thanks to Tonya B. Vide Tlaib and author and political analyst Harold Michael Harvey. Thanks to the crew, Millennial Nik, Lady J, Regia, music by K-Dub, all those who help us make it happen every single week. Big thanks to artist Sanyu, Estelle, and producer Nick B., a.k.a. Millennial Nik, our second Newsmaker Trivia contestant. The new album is Shipwreck. Get it now. To sign up for Newsmaker Trivia, go to Castropolis.net. You'll win an autographed copy of the new book from author Harold Michael Harvey, Watch Night. Again, sign up at Castropolis.net. Subscribe, y'all. Turn on notifications for all new episodes for the podcast. And with that, episode 216 is in the can. Have a great week, y'all. Peace and power to the people.
You've been listening to This is the G Podcast. And This is the G Podcast is a production of the Castropolis Podcast Network. Thanks for listening.